Okay, let's start on yours. There we go.
That's it.
Okay, so, right.
Okay, so we're here. I'm the Soul Salon.
I am 8 Red Trees Tarot, and we've come together to do some joint readings. We
Yes,
decided to try it as an experiment.
we did. We thought we would try today looking at our purpose as a channel and
Yeah,
what we can do.
yeah,
How we can build the channel, how we
yes,
can
yes.
take it forward,
To
if you
give it some
like.
purpose to help people.
Yeah,
And as we were just saying, the whole idea behind this is it's a journey of self-discovery and transformation.
yeah, and it's like about exploring your potential as a
Absolutely.
as a human, but also as spirit as
As a
well.
spirit, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And that we have all of these different levels and different bodies in us. We have all of these different archetypes that come through at different times in our lives. So contemplation is important. Where are we now? Like,
yeah,
why are you here? What are you doing in this very moment? Not necessarily the big
yeah,
existential why am I here, but in this
exactly.
moment. And how can we use tarot as a guide, not as we've said, not as fortune
We're
telling.
not
We're
fortune
not Harry
telling, no.
Potter, we're not the wizarding world. This is because, as we were saying earlier, and I think it's important to state this, if something like tarot or the reader themselves can dictate what is going to happen to you, where is your free will?
Yes, it's disempowering,
It's
isn't it?
disempowering.
Whereas
Absolutely.
if you're using it as a tool to explore your potential, a
And your
tool
inner
to,
self, like to
yeah,
know that your inner world is is effectively echoing the
yes,
outside, mirroring the outside world rather than the outside world dictating to you, like we
yeah,
do. I don't know. I was thinking about this a lot lately about women's bodies and
yes,
how we still, all of us, criticize ourselves and dictate to ourselves,
exactly.
oh, I can't wear this because I'm a certain age and I'll look silly. According to who says
Yes,
you'll look silly? So we're so many times we make decisions in our lives reflecting what the outside world brings in rather than saying, what am I inside?
yes,
And if I truly reflect that, the chances of me engendering any kind of negativity actually decreases, because
yes.
the more authentic you are, the more people really resonate to
And to
that,
be authentic, you need to know who
who
you
you
are.
are.
And we don't know who we are very
No.
often. I mean,
Well, we don't
um,
explore it, do we?
and I work as a medium, and when I teach, that's the thing that I say to people: you need to get to know yourself, because then you know what is coming from you and what is
Yes,
coming from
absolutely.
outside of you, whether that's, communicating with spirit, or whether that's, the influences, like you say, that we have externally from ourselves. So we have
Yeah.
all this, we're dictated to by the media, we're dictated to by society, by the community that we're brought up in,
Yeah.
what we should be. And
Yeah.
it's about breaking that cycle, and tarot it's a tool. It's like you say,
Yes. Yeah.
it's not something to sort of only live your life by, but it's a tool to explore who you want to be, and it's a tool to remember who you really are as well.
I think of it like a pictorial representation of what's going on inside.
Yes,
So somebody said to me, well, how does that translate to the cards, like the tangible way of picking cards? Isn't it just
yes,
random? And I was thinking about this and I thought, but everything has an atomic frequency, right? Everything is
yeah,
made of atoms that vibrate at a certain
yes,
frequency. This table is only solid because of the way the atoms have coalesced.
yes,
If the atoms were changed, if you changed the matter within this
mm,
table, you could probably put your hand straight through it,
yes,
right? So we know that atoms are trying to align with other atoms. They want to live in harmony. That's the
yes,
whole idea. And I was thinking about it and I thought, I think what happens when you choose the cards is that when you sit, there is an atomic alignment between you and the certain cards at
yes,
that moment, and that's why they get drawn to you. I think that's why they
yes.
fall out. That's why, when you're
Oh,
shuffling and
when you've got
shuffling and then
jumpers.
and yeah, and I've really started choosing my cards via the, I like
Mm,
that, the jumpers,
yes,
because I've sometimes found that when I'm trying to choose, like, if you lay them out, I'm looking at them and there's almost a part of my brain going, whoa, which ones should I
yeah,
choose?
whereas you should go for them.
What naturally just
We
would
don't think
come into
about it.
play. Yeah.
That's something that I find. So I fan them out. If I'm reading for people now, I fan them out and I ask them to choose the cards, pick them themselves, put them in a pile. But people are there dithering, and it's like I say to them, you can't get it wrong.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't get it
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
You
yeah.
will be drawn to the card.
But I think that's actually a hard thing, because I've often had, you know, and I've had readings and people who said, "What are you drawn to?" And I find that in the moment, there's so much stimulus going on around
Mm.
you. You know, there's the sense of excitement, maybe a sense of anxiety, maybe a
Yeah.
sense of trepidation. You're in a new place, perhaps. You're sitting with someone you don't know. You're in your front brain almost. You're
Yes.
not you're not living in a sense of true calm self.
Yeah.
So it's like your attention is being sucked up by the intention of, I don't want to get it wrong, and
Yes.
I want this reading to be valuable, and I've only got so much time, and I'm paying money, and what if I get it wrong and I go away, and there's
Yeah.
all of that comes
Your
in.
logical brain's going woo, woo, woo.
This
And
is
it's
it.
like you need to sort of just actually
Be
don't think
still,
about
don't
it.
think about it, and let that natural. But it's like when I first see a client to do treatments, before you start checking their blood pressure or you start looking at their pulses, you want them to be calm, right?
Yes.
And when people first arrive, there's a flurry of activity, and they've maybe been stuck in traffic, or they're running late, or they've
Yeah.
had a lot going on, etc. And you need to bring everything to a state of
Yes.
calm. And sometimes people get faced, so when you bring it to the cards, people get faced with this idea of, oh my God, you know, I've got to
Yes.
get this. Which card do I choose that
Yes.
reflects me? And it's getting people to be relaxed. And I think that's kind of why what I've been doing lately is
Mm.
shuffle, 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 and see what falls
Feel.
out,
Yeah.
because it feels then that it takes away all of that anxiety of, you better choose them.
Yes.
Let's let your energy and
Definitely.
your intentions and attention pull the cards out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always describe it as being, it's like if you go to an art gallery
Yeah.
and you're looking at all the paintings and all the works of art, and some you're really drawn to. And it's not necessarily just the ones you like. Sometimes the ones you really find sort of triggering, but you can't stop looking at them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the tarot is very similar. So although you're not looking at the cards when you're choosing them, there's something within you that's drawing you to that card,
Yeah. Yeah.
as it is to a painting. And some because you love it, and some because you really don't. And then you could visit the same gallery 6 months later, and pictures that you've sort of really felt an affinity to don't have that same effect on
Yeah.
you when you go to
Absolutely.
something else.
Because every day you are at a different set in your
You
life.
are.
And this is where I think that, well, I think daily contemplative practice is important, because you need to reset every day.
Oh,
You need to
definitely.
look at where you started your day and where you end your day, and how you can assimilate what's happened in your day,
You do, yeah.
you know? And so I think, right, so bringing it to today, we've got your Rider Waite Smith
We've
deck.
got my Rider Waite Smith deck, which is for anybody who's a bit of a Rider Waite fan. They are the purple box, I think it is. It's either purple or dark blue, but they are the 1975, I think that might have come out. So it was the year I was born.
Okay.
But these were given to me by my grandma when I was a young teen. So that's
They've
and it
got
was
a
and
lot of meaning
they've
for
got a
you.
lot of meaning for me, and they were my first deck.
Right.
And I have to say that when I first got them, I was fascinated, but I hadn't got a clue what to do with them at all. I
But
just
they've become
didn't.
part of you now, though,
They
haven't
have,
they?
and they weren't actually the first deck that I really connected to. That came later, but these were my first cards, which I thought, seeing as though this is our first collaboration, I'd use those.
I really like it. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm going with a brand new deck that we have not used before.
I love these.
This is amazing. So this is, I've got it here so I can show it to people. I fold it up neatly and nicely. This is from a company called Kisses from Ibiza, how you say it. And it's the Tarot of Carl Jung. And it is only the major arcana. But this is something that's really drawing me back to tarot, is looking at, as I've said, the archetypes,
Yeah.
and really delving into the meaning of the major arcana of who does that who does that resonate with you where you are now in your journey of life, and in
Yeah.
your smaller little cyclical
Yes.
journeys that we go through. So for me, that's what I thought, well, I want to start as I mean to go on. So we're using this deck, although I've not used it before. And then we decided to, because this is really pretty, this is the Prism Oracle, because it's color. And
It's colour,
it
and
draws us. We love our bright colors.
and it's got gilding,
And
and
it's got gilded,
I
and you
love
like
a
the
bit. I
gilded.
like the
So
gilding.
that's what we're doing. We're going with the gilded. So we're going to start with an oracle card, and then we're going to pull.
Yeah,
Do we pull one or two?
I think we should pull perhaps an oracle.
Yeah,
Why don't we pull one each of those?
brilliant.
And then we could do
And
maybe a 3-card
elaborate
spread
more with the tarot
with
deck.
the tarot. Yeah,
Let's do
let
that.
me move these out the way a bit then.
And I'll move those for the time being. So
Go on, you shuffle.
do you want me to
your
shuffle?
deck.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what comes out. And the reason we're doing this reading today is it's our first video recording.
It is.
So we're very sorry if camera angles aren't great.
We're
and
having
things
a
don't
bit
look.
of a practice.
We're having a bit of a practice.
Might be a bit rough and ready.
It might be a bit rough and ready, but it's authentic and it's real, and it's us trying to have a go at it. So this is basically to find our mission statement. It's to see, are we on the right track with this, and are we gelling? Because you did a reading for me a while back, and you did a reading for me a while back, and we ended up having such a great conversation over the reading that it gave birth to this idea of, well, maybe we can actually do something together and do a reading where both readers are looking at either two separate decks or at the same deck, but collaborating on what we think it's saying.
I think that's interesting, sort of different perspectives on it, because everybody will, you could shuffle the cards and pull a spread out and place it down, and two readers will get different things from it.
Yeah. And I think I like the idea of it, because I think it's easy to fall into a trap of not feeling confident in your reading sometimes when you're on your own all the time.
Yeah.
I certainly find this with doing my own practice on my own. Yeah. You need collaboration. And I'm seeing that way more as I get older. You need collaboration. You need to bring people together where they talk together, because it's in that exchange of air. The chi that comes from your chest, the chi that comes from deep within you, as you expel that out, you share ideas. You get this exchange, which brings, it's like bringing current into a pool of water. It refreshes it, it moves it. And that having a long form discussion, so sorry guys that this introduction has gone on and you're staring at a blank table, but I think long form discussion is really, really important in a day and age when everything seems to be 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 30 seconds. We want everything now. We want explanations in a short sound bite, and it just devalues how deep this can go.
I found that with readings. So I've done readings for events, and sort of like a 20-minute reading, and the problem is people want an hour's worth of reading within that 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you the time to sort of explore the cards, the deeper meanings. You can get the initial sort of quick meanings, if you like, but to sit down and really sort of feel into it, you can't do. I don't think you can do that.
No, you can't. And how something looks on the surface, as we all know, is not necessarily this whole book don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
The reading you initially think you're seeing might not be what you would see if you were able to go a bit deeper and have time to contemplate. Other ideas and thoughts are going to start bubbling up that are going to be more relevant to you and authentic than what your front brain kind of initially goes, oh, that's this, that's this, that's this, that's this.
Yeah.
That's your starting point, but that's why people practice something for a long time. Your initial time doing an event of whatever kind, whether it's sports or music or anything, is going to be very different. Like us doing this.
Yes.
If we can manage to keep this going, looking back 6 months from now or 12 months from now or 18 months from now, the way we film, the way we talk, the way we set up is going to have evolved.
Yes.
That's what you want with the reading, is an evolution.
I see that as well. I see that with accounts that I've followed, and you see like that when they first set up and they talk quite quietly, and they,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
sort of,
absolutely.
and then you look at them sort of a couple of years down the line, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it's professional, it's polished, but not too polished, because you don't
No,
want to take that
no, no.
humanness out of it, if
Yeah,
you
I
like.
don't want this to be edited into oblivion. It needs to be
No.
real. So again, you're staring at our hands. We're not sure. At some point, maybe we'll show our faces if we can figure out how to get the cameras right. Right. Okay. So do you do the honors?
Okay,
Flip it over.
let's
Where are we
see.
at?
Oh, passion.
Passion.
Yay, that's what we
Wonderful.
need.
Wonderful.
So we've got to be passionate about what we're doing.
Yeah,
There's no point
absolutely.
doing something and not being excited by it. And I think we do things, don't we, in daily life, that we there's there's a big thing at the moment about turning round your words and turning around how you say things, or it's a big thing for me anyway. And rather than saying, oh, we've got to do this today,
Yeah.
it's like, we get to do this today. It's
Yes.
turning
Yeah. Yeah.
should into
Yeah.
could. It's
Into
like,
yeah.
so we've got to go for it with that sense of passion, that excitement, that, being really true to what we are. And I
Yeah.
think as long as we're true to what we are, then we'll retain that passion.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
like
I think,
that.
and for me, it's very much about. I keep using this word, and it's getting a bit nauseous, but I keep seeing authenticity is really important.
Oh, yes,
And I
definitely.
think in a world that's becoming AI driven, in a world that's becoming so plastic, in a world that is everything has to be, it has to be perfected to the nth degree. You can't see
Mm.
blemishes. You can't see gray hairs. You can't see,
We can't
people
see
can't stumble over their
wrinkles, or
words.
yeah.
People can't make mistakes, basically, because if you make the mistake or you say something that maybe
It's
later on, if you think about it, you think, oh, actually, no, I don't quite agree with what I said. And actually, the problem with things being recorded is then it becomes, well, you said this on this day.
yeah.
And we're not allowing people to evolve,
But
and we lose our passion
and
then.
sometimes what we think one day, we won't necessarily think that the next
Absolutely,
day.
absolutely. And
It
it doesn't mean you're a liar or you're not authentic to your
it
values.
just means that on that particular day, you're feeling that this
Yes,
is the right thing to do.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that that's something I think is it for me is a really really valuable mission statement to hold
Yes.
on to, is that to have passion for something, and you need to be authentic, you need to be true, you need to constantly reevaluate why you're doing what you're doing, what
Oh
is your
gosh, yeah.
motivation for doing this, rather than just bumbling along. Really really
Yeah.
be anchored. And I like the idea of the red makes me think of the Muladhara
Mm.
chakra. It's the grounding.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose you
You'll
could take it that this is heart chakra because it's passion, it's fire, and certainly in the traditional Chinese medicine, the red is the heart.
To
Um,
me, I'm more drawn to the sacral, because
yeah, yeah.
this also, the red seems to blend into orange.
Orange tinge.
And your sacral chakra is all about your creativity,
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
passion, your creativity.
And
It's
your
very,
authenticity,
yes,
because it's the
it's
sacred, it's the
you.
chakra before the manipura, where you're now your emotions, you're trying to figure out how you adjust to the outside world and
Yes,
how you interact with the outside
yes,
world. Your svadhisthana is all about your internal world. Who
yes.
are you? So again, it's this theme keeps coming up. Do you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the book
Oh, that's a good
and let's
idea.
have a
And
little read of what this
have a look in
says,
the book.
which I think is always valuable to have a look at.
I
So
think so. I know people say, oh, you should disregard the little white book, but I really like to see the creator's vision behind the
yeah,
card.
I do. I want to
And
know what their motivation was.
yeah,
Why
and I
did
think it's important to perhaps put your stamp on things first. So I, when I'm teaching, I would always encourage people to sort of look at what they get from the card first. Then it's okay then to go to the book.
yeah,
And even if it's
background if
totally
people want to see
different,
that.
it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Yeah.
That you're, it just means that that's what you're getting from the card.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if that worked showing it to that camera, but anyway, it says how you perceive passion can depend on what lens you view it through, which is what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
very much.
Passion may be associated with lust and temptation, or it may suggest optimistic action, like a fire in your belly. This card encourages celebrating your passions in whatever form they take. It asks you to acknowledge the flame that sits within you, whether it is a deep conviction, an interest, or love. Find what stokes your inner fire and embrace the excitement that comes along with it.
Oh, I love that.
So that kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, that sort of sums up what we're doing here. Okay. So we've got passion. Which one do we, we're going to do the oracle next?
Yeah, did we say we were going to pick one each?
Pick one each. You go.
Yeah. Go on,
you give it a shuffle and you see what comes up for you.
I do like these cards. The artwork on these is so pretty.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
And as much as I like the artwork in the traditional Rider-Waite, I always think it's really nice to have variety.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get like so much from the actual artwork. I want that one because it's sticking.
Okay.
Oh, Temperance. So it's all about balance, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I read the text on it, it says the pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. About balance, moderation, and reconciliation, paralleling Jung's idea of the mind's movement between extremes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is, isn't it? It's got to be balanced. But I suppose it's about that balance between our beliefs, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also, you know, that pendulum going from me to you.
Yeah, it's got me thinking of the yin and yang.
Yes, because we're both quite different personalities.
Yeah, we are.
We both have, although I suppose our
I think our value systems are very similar.
And our professions sort of,
oh yeah, they dovetail.
Yeah,
don't
they dovetail. But we certainly have our own ways of thinking about, you know, tarot, and that's the whole point of doing it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We different people with different readers. The other thing with Temperance is it comes after death, doesn't it? If we're going through the Fool's journey, it comes after death. So it's about, you know, what have we let go of in order to get to that point. And for me, what springs to mind is letting go of that irrational fear that we have, partly of, you know, sort of talking in front of a camera and knowing that that's going to be there for all time, you know, it's always going to be available. So it's about letting go of those self-doubts, letting go of that kind of thing, because if we don't let go of those fears, we're going to be stuck in the devil's energy where we feel constricted and bound. And then we get the Tower coming in, you know, saying, well, if you don't find that balance, then you know, we're gonna really shake things up for you, and it's not necessarily a pleasant experience then. So I think it's reminding us, you know, that this is okay, actually, you know, just be you. And you know, you've got to that point, you've started to let go of those fears. So, you know, bring that sense of being to the whole thing, you know, bring yourself to the table, I think.
Well, I think the Temperance as well, it comes after the devil.
Before the devil.
Does it come before the devil? It comes after death, and it comes before the devil. And it's recognizing that in between the two, how do you find balance?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you find... For me, Temperance is the part of the journey where you start looking at all those different parts of you and recognizing that they all exist. They all have a right to exist.
Yeah.
They're all valid. How do you get them to come to the table in a nice round circular table where everybody has a voice and everybody is moving with flow, one into the other, one into the other, one into the other, which is what I think of with the yin and the yang symbols. You've got, it's not, somebody once said to me, I probably said this to you before, somebody once said to me, she doesn't like the word balance when you look at the yin and yang, because to her balance meant static.
Yes.
You know, you've reached a perfect balance, and it's not. She said you should use the word harmony.
Yes.
That it's a harmonizing of flow. Yeah. So the flow is unimpeded. It's moving one to the other, one to the other. So death is the experience of loss. It's of letting go of what you were. It's realizing that life is made up of mini deaths.
Yeah.
You know, that it's not, again, just the big existential deaths. That it's all the little mini deaths. I mean, hell, even letting go of your favorite dress, You know,
Oh, it's
even letting go of your car that you've had forever and you've given
yeah,
it a name and you've got this relationship with this mechanical thing, but it's got an aura of you in it and around
yes,
it,
it's
and
got
letting
your
go,
energy.
it's your energy. And having the understanding of temperance to say it's okay, because whatever you let go, it will come back around again. It might be in a different form, but it will come back around again. And by developing that level of temperance, it allows you to face the devil,
Yes,
because the devil is your shadow self, isn't it? The
yes,
devil is the part of you that says, just buy that thing, just go do it, don't worry about it, you only live once, grab what you
yes,
can. And those sentiments are great
yes,
when they're tempered. But
yes,
when those sentiments are allowed to run riot,
yes.
you get into massive debt, you end up in addiction, you end up in relationships that are
Mm,
toxic to you, you end up in friendships that are toxic to you, you
yeah,
end up working in jobs that are toxic to you. You just end up living this life that is all about feeding the immediate needs.
yes,
Like, I've done a bit of exercise, so now I'm going to go and eat loads of junk food because I've earned that right to do it. And yeah, okay, maybe in that moment,
mm,
fine. But if you looked at it over a longer period, again, back to this long
mm.
form idea, is that really the best thing to do for yourself?
No.
Because you've just negated all that effort you've just put
I
in.
think it leaves you feeling quite empty as well
Yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
in that sort of devil energy.
Yeah,
It's empty. It's like it sucks the life out of you,
yeah.
I think.
It's not replenishing.
No.
Devil energy is about constantly um, either taking or
Yeah.
giving
Or giving too
out too
much.
much. It's one or the other. There's no temperance involved.
Yes.
So you want the temperance. And I kind of think, to be honest, in the fool's journey, this should come after the devil.
Yes.
With the
I
way
get
I
you.
think of
Yes.
the journey,
I
I think
I
that card
understand
should
why
come
you
after the devil. I think you've got the death, you've got the devil, and learning about loss, and then learning about how you deal with that loss,
mm,
that you don't go off the rails because you've lost, that you are not the only being that
mm.
loses, that life is about loss and gain, loss and gain,
Yeah.
loss and gain. And that if you find the temperance to balance that out,
Yeah.
you can move from one emotion to the other without the emotions dragging you down and weighing you down. That it's okay to feel angry, by all means feel angry, but feel it and allow it to move on.
Mm.
I know the idea of not using the words I am angry, that you say I'm feeling anger.
So you can disassociate
Yeah,
yourself, your
yeah,
emotions aren't who you are.
absolutely, they're not your entire
They're
being
just how you're feeling in
in
that
that
moment.
moment. And that an hour later, the anger's
You know,
faded and you're
it
like,
doesn't mean
why
you're
was I
an
even bothered?
angry person. It
Absolutely,
just
this is
means
it.
at this moment I'm feeling really angry.
Yeah, yeah. And it's finding the temperance to have that flow.
Yeah, I see. I think that's a big thing. So we're very quick to judge as a society, aren't we?
Oh
So if
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
says something, I would not want to be one of these celebrities at the moment because they say something off the cuff and then it's dissected and we all
yes,
jump on board
yeah, yeah,
and it's like they're the worst person ever.
yeah.
And just because you say something that has either been misconstrued or was very, very thoughtless or
Well, yeah, you're
inappropriate.
human. Maybe you were tired. Maybe you
Yeah,
were exhausted. Maybe you hadn't eaten and you were hangry.
yeah,
Maybe you were all of these things. That it's okay. The idea is that you said it, and then growth. And this is why daily contemplation is important. The growth is to then review
mm,
your day and go, do you know what? I was really snappy with so and so today.
mm,
Why was I snappy with
why?
them?
Yeah,
Well, I left the house and I didn't have any breakfast, and I was feeling hangry, and I really should have had
mm,
my breakfast before I got involved. And that, okay, I know now that I really do need to make sure I have my breakfast before I leave the house.
yes,
There you go, done and dusted. You've
yeah,
evolved, you've acknowledged it. Now you can move forward
yeah,
and be a better person. But
exactly.
you're right that you get pinioned into this
Mm,
tiny moment of time.
mm,
Or people take videos, don't they, and they edit them, they
yes,
dissect it so
yes.
it says what they want it to
Mm.
say, and gives it. The news is doing it all the time at the moment.
I think this is also important that anybody who's watching this, if anybody is watching this
Yeah, yeah,
or listening
it's
to
going to
this,
go out into the ether.
that our opinions won't necessarily be your opinions,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
that's an important thing to value. We're just bringing our perspective to the table.
yes,
It's you take from it what you want.
yeah, that there's
And
no right or
if
wrong here.
something resonates with you, take it. And if
Yeah,
it doesn't, well, that's fine as well. Because
Yes. Yeah.
if we were all the same, it'd be a very boring world,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
And actually this is one of the things that's finally allowed me to sit and do this with you without fear of what backlash might come if
Mm,
anybody ever watches this,
mm.
is the recognition that this is simply my opinion,
Yeah,
and it's what I feel like, and that I have a right to my opinion, but you don't have to agree with my opinion. You
no,
don't even have to honor my opinion. You
yeah,
can go, that's a whole load of horse pocky, and I'm not listening to you anymore. And you're quite welcome to do that, because
exactly.
my opinions will change as I go along and as I evolve. It's how I feel in this moment. It's
Mm,
what I'm learning to listen to,
mm,
that instinctive self to talk. And I also think it's important that we stop being afraid of sharing our views with each other. I think
yes.
there's so much trolling online, there's so much cruelty, there's so much
Mm.
damning, where people are allowing their own sense of inadequacy and their own
To
angers
reflect
to
on us.
reflect on other people and slamming people. And it's like, if we don't share, we become polarized, like we're becoming.
Yes.
If people are afraid to say, look, this is what I think, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but with the information I have available right now, this is what I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
How do you think about it? And that,
Mm.
hence collaboration being important, because then the
Yeah.
other person comes back and says, well, actually, I view it from this angle, and you sit and you collab together, and maybe
Mm.
you don't agree in the end. Maybe you both go, well, actually, no, I still think I'm right. And the other person goes, well, I still think I'm right. There is room for that to exist in
There
the
is.
same space, that it doesn't have to be, we all have to align perfectly. We're not
Yes.
automatons. And
Mm.
this idea of the more we're given room and freedom to express who we are,
Yes.
the less temperance we have.
Yes. And if we come across, we're uncensored, we're not censoring ourselves,
No.
but we also balance that with having personal responsibility about
Yes.
what we're not throwing out wild and wacky sort of conspiracies
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
ideals or ways
Or
of reading. Because I could say to you, you know, I don't, when I read, I won't read on financial
yeah,
situations,
yeah,
because I don't have any financial experience. I'm not a doctor, so I won't read on
yeah,
health issues.
yeah,
And to be honest, I don't believe that if I turned around to somebody and said, oh, you've got this and it's not looking good, that is just sucking the joy out of
yeah,
the time they've whether they were going to be really ill. It's sucking the joy out of the life in the moment, and
yes.
you're not living life as you should be. So
I
again,
agree, and I
it's
think
that.
it's important to recognize that my view of using the tarot for reading like that is it doesn't matter what your situation is in
Mm,
terms of like the tangible situation,
yes.
whether you're in a health crisis or whether you're in a financial crisis or whether you're in a relationship crisis, job crisis, whatever it may be. It's about finding your authentic self inside, because that will alter how successfully you deal with that problem.
Yes.
If you're in a health crisis and you are full of fear and anger and repression and maybe a sense of rejection,
Mm,
all of these things are going to impact how you physiologically are capable of
mm,
fighting that health issue or coping with it if it's a chronic
yes.
issue. If you have a sense of flow within you, if you have a sense of space, it's not that the pain isn't still there. It's not that the chronic issues aren't, or maybe even the life threatening illness isn't still there, but how you are able to find hope in that moment
Mm,
through a free flowing of your
yeah.
chi and of your energy is going to absolutely change. In fact, I was watching the cricket yesterday, and the Ruth Foundation, um, um, Strauss, oh, his name just gone out my head. Anyway, his wife sadly passed away of cancer, and they set up this foundation where it helps families deal with the emotions of what they're going through. It helps
Yeah.
the parents dealing with children. It helps all this sort of thing. And one of the women that they had interviewed, who had lost, I think she'd lost her husband, if I remember correctly, and she said it's living in hope with every day.
Yeah.
So especially as that person gets near the end, It's finding hope in the small moments, when you find those moments of peace, those moments of gentleness. And I think that was really beautiful. That really
Yes.
struck me, as it sounds kind of, especially if you're filled with rage and hurt and anger and all these other things, it sounds so pitiful.
Yeah.
Oh, find hope in the moment.
Mm.
But actually, it's been proven scientifically that if you can find a sense of peace, if your brain waves are focused on something positive and hopeful, it is expansive and uplifting.
Yes.
And it does help your body, and it does help you. Anybody who's ever spent time with someone coming to the end of their life, you see those, that need to be peaceful in yourself brings a much more peaceful death, no matter how that death occurs, than somebody who dies screaming in a trauma because they haven't found that peace within themselves. So I think that that's really important to me, to recognize that it's not about the issue you're in particularly, it's who you are within that issue.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does makes perfect sense.
Right. So I'm going to flip this baby over. Oh,
I love that.
we've
card.
got the sun.
Oh,
that's wonderful.
That's such a pretty card.
It's a beautiful card, isn't
my
it?
favorite card in that deck.
I don't know if we can lift those both up, actually, so that it can be seen.
But I think the sun very much ties in with this,
It
doesn't it?
absolutely does. It absolutely does, because, well, and this is what we're talking about. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes.
Yes.
So when you look inside, you waken up. I mean, looking outside and dreaming is wonderful, because that's your fire, that's your yang, that's what moves you forward and helps you evolve. But if you're just crashing through the underbrush, if you're not doing it in a nice, measured way, are you?
Whereas if you're awakening to who you are and what potential is inside you,
yes,
then that's so expansive, isn't it?
Of course
it's
it
going
is.
from inside out. And it's about the, being authentic.
Yeah. And it says here, it symbolizes joy, success, and vitality, echoing the awakening and enlightenment that comes from introspection, as Jung suggests.
So it's about enjoying actually making these videos. It's about enjoying the conversation that we're having, whether, as much as we would enjoy having a conversation between the two of us.
Yeah.
Because we do, don't we? We can talk for England.
Oh, God, we can. But I like this. And this is what I want to put out, because I also think that when you, I was just saying, I was listening to the Bessel van der Kolk, who does the Body Keeps Score. And I've been listening to some of his things again. And even though I've listened to a lot of his stuff and I've read the book previously, re-listening to it now, having a gap in between, I'm finding other things that are pertinent to me. And my thought when we first started talking about doing this, I was paranoid about, I don't want to be seen on video. I don't want people are going to be mean if we put this out. They're going to laugh. They're going to send horrible troll things.
It's just their opinions.
But it is. And I realized, actually, again, this is why we have to do the motivation. It's not about that. The point of doing this is, I was thinking that when I listen to things, even if I re-listen to them, even if I find things random, there's always something I can take from it. There's something I'll listen to that will catch me, that will make me go, oh, hang on a minute. And it allows me to have a bit more insight into myself, or maybe reframe how I've been looking at a situation. And that's what I would like for us to be able to give to people. That it's not about us being, readers and right or wrong and channeling and all of this, which will come. That's all fine, all that part of the stuff. But it's about people listening to what we're saying. And if this resonates with them, go with some love and light with it.
It might just be one thing that we've said throughout.
Absolutely.
However long
we've rambled over.
But if they get one thing and it gives somebody that hope or that spark of inspiration, I think.
Yes.
Because that's the part I enjoy the most. I enjoy teaching now because I really love, inspiring other people. To do what I do. And so that's what I really enjoy. And I think that's it. It's giving somebody that, let's discover this passion that we've got.
Yes. This is why I think sometimes I do worry that I talk too much when I do my treatment sessions for people, but I like to share with people.
I like listening to you when you're talking to me and I'm having treatments. I think it
makes me
it
I
makes,
feel like I'm connecting with people,
yeah,
and I want people to engage in their own health. I want people to
yes,
engage in their own bodies, their own minds, their own spirit, and to be empowered. Like, I feel really strongly about that. There's
yes,
so much disempowerment. The more choice we're given, the less empowered people seem to be feeling,
yes,
because it's surrounded by this ball of toxicity and criticism, and
yeah,
it makes people terrified to speak out for fear of, you get shouted down that, well, you're not a PhD in that subject, so you have no right to an opinion, or you're made to feel like you're some crazy conspiratorial, I don't know, nut job.
yeah,
And it's not. It's, people have a right to share that. We didn't get to where we are in society by living in tiny silos where we ignored each other and screamed at each
no,
other. We collaborated. Society grew because of collaboration. The greatest spiritualist minds out there, although they might have retreated to, shacks and mountain caves and
mm,
beaches and all sorts, there's still, they put their writings out there.
of
They still
course they
put
do.
things out so people could share it. That's the only way we move forward, is through
Yeah,
sharing.
definitely.
And I feel like that's what I want us to be able to do with these. So,
Definitely and to shed light
and
on
to shed light, I mean, this
different
is
things.
the
Yeah.
the colors of this are just, they blend there. You've got
Mm,
the sacral, the fire chakra, but it's tempered with the blues, it's tempered with the gentleness.
mm,
It's that nice balance of having both the yin and the yang. You've got
yeah.
the deep water, and then you've got the sun and the sky, and the two
Mm,
things work together to create our atmospheres and our weathers, and feed us, and make life exist.
yes,
And it's that whole thing of bringing, let's bring all of it in, and then take little parts out and look at them under a microscope.
that's it. Totally
So,
agree. I'm
what should we do? Should we put these?
pop
I'll
those
do
to the
those simply because that's the
camera.
one that's got the microphones in, and I'm going to move that out the way. I'm going to let you choose some cards. So,
Right.
what do we want to do? Do you want to choose some to elaborate
Yes, just
on
to
what
sort
we've
of,
seen?
yeah, I think so. Not
Cool.
necessarily have any sort of parts of a spread for them. We'll just let them be free
Just be
form
free
and
form and see what comes up.
let's tell the story, because that's what tarot is, isn't it? It's
It's
a
a story.
storytelling tool.
Absolutely.
It's like
Absolutely.
having a picture book to tell the story.
Yeah. It's like,
And
do you know what it's like? It's like one of those choose your own adventure
yeah,
books,
it is, isn't
isn't
it?
it?
Do you want to do this or that?
Yeah,
Which page
absolutely.
do
Which
you want?
page do you want?
Right, I'm going to spread them out. So I'm going to go on, you choose one.
Right.
Don't think about it.
No, this one. That one.
That's what we've just been talking
We've just been
about.
talking about.
I'm going to go with that one. And I am going to see, when I read, I really like to look at the base card as well.
Okay.
Because I think it gives you a really good insight on the reading.
Okay.
So we've got the Hangman there. So
There
it's
we go.
about that perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
Changing your
altering
perspective.
you know.
Becoming a new you, looking at world. It's like the Alice through the Looking Glass,
It
you know,
is,
where
yes.
the world looks the same, but it's different.
And it gives you that opportunity to sort of contemplate things as well. It's
Yeah.
about giving yourself that space and silence when, in between, I think in between each video, where we take that space, we take that silence, we go into that part of ourselves where we can really sort of discover what we want to do. We're not going to have necessarily a plan. It's like going with the flow and just discovering what do I feel I want to talk about this week, rather than just being like, okay, we've got a plan, this is what we're going to do.
And at the same time, for me, whenever I look at this, the Rider-Waite-Smith version of this, he's in a figure 4.
Yes.
And the symmetry of the 4 always makes me think again of, like you're saying, the hanging, there's a stillness there. Like 4s are balance, yes, aren't they? 4s are everything can be stability. And it's the fact that although he's looking at the world through a different perspective, and you've got the free flowing, he's anchored to a tree, which is rooted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's in this figure 4. So again, it's about that juxtaposition of the sun, the brightness. He's thinking, he's like going, whoa, all the blood's rushing to his head. He's seeing the world through a new way. He's looking upside down. He's taking a new view of it. but he's doing it in a balanced way.
He is, yeah.
You know
And
what I mean? It's not in a chaotic, hanging by one leg, but the other leg's splayed out and
yes,
everything's all higgledy-piggledy. This is a very balanced, uniform way of looking
and
at the
there's
world.
growth here. If you look at
Yeah,
the leaves
absolutely.
here, there's growth um, throughout. And he's actually, his position, I believe, is mirroring the world, the figure on the world. I'm sure it is.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look now. So it's almost like, you know, where are you going to start from to get to that position that you want to be in, where, you know, we
Okay.
get to the world, if it's not there. It's like the devil mirrors the magician in there. Of course, it's either going to be one of those three cards, or it's going
Was that
to.
it? Did you just pass
It
it?
was a Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, was that the Wheel of Fortune?
I know it's similar, isn't it? Because that's the halfway one, isn't it? Halfway point. Always makes me want to sing Bon Jovi when I get there. No. See, it must have come up. I think it must be under there.
Must be under here.
So,
Interesting. Right.
interesting.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a look. What have we got? We've got the Queen of
Cups.
Cups, the Nine of Cups,
And the world. There it
yes,
is. Yes,
see?
it does mirror
and
it.
if we read them sort of left to right,
Yeah.
the world is at the end. So this is where we want to be. We want to have something that's really well formed.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that gives people a complete I suppose a completion of our views, a well-rounded form of our views, where we bring in all different things in. But it's about, again, like with the Temperance, the world is a very balanced card.
Yes. Yes, it
because
is.
we've come full
Yeah.
circle.
Well, we've got all four. We've got all four of the
for
suits, don't we?
yes, and we've you know, it also means that we're not at the end. We've just completed a cycle.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we get to somewhere where we want to be with it. It's about getting to where we want to be with this.
Yes. And I love that it's the cups, because of course the cups are about intuition, in depth, your emotions. How do you balance those? How do you find that in depth intuition that allows you to see the world, see the world less like less two-dimensional. Thank you. Less two-dimensional. And that it starts with the Queen of Cups, because that's a really mature, measured woman.
Yeah.
You know, she's got the emotions in her, she's got the intuition, she's developed it, but she's not swayed by it. It doesn't rule her world. Do you know what I mean?
She's very in touch with her emotions, and she's comfortable with other people's emotions as well. The Queen of Cups.
But absolutely.
she nurtures those emotions for both herself and other people.
Yeah.
And it's when we said about, you know, the tarot uncovering, you know, those aspects of yourself that you don't always necessarily want to confront, but then to get to know the inner you.
Yes.
And the Queen of Cups, I think, is a really good card, because she's nurturing, she's caring, so it's teaching you to nurture that inner you.
Yeah. And I like that. I also like that her feet, for me, are on the sand. Yes. I always see this as she's on the beach.
Yes.
And her feet are on the sand. She's
not overwhelmed by the emotion.
She's not overwhelmed by the emotion, and she's not
it.
Lost in her own psyche. Yes. The idea of the ocean being your deep unconscious, isn't it? She's not lost in it. She's firm on her throne with her feet on the sand. The pebbles are around her. There's a
real grounded.
There's a grounded feel there, and I really like that, because it also makes me think, whenever I look at, like, when I think of this, I think of, this is where life comes from.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? The water is life-giving. I mean, without water, everything is dead.
Yes, and interestingly, the water isn't still.
No,
she's
moving.
Not just calm because everything's going perfectly. There's still, all right, we've not got massive waves, but we've still got everyday
movement,
things going on. So, you know, life isn't perfect around her, but she's dealing with the emotions in a calm and collected way.
Yeah. And she's not afraid of the waves coming in or the tide coming in.
Yeah.
She's like, I always get this sense of, because you can see a bit of water behind there. And I always get a sense of she's on like a little inlet
Yeah.
and she's not fussed. The waves, when the tide comes in, she'll just float there.
Yeah.
She'll just float on the tide. It'll let her lift along, and then the tide will go back out again and she'll be back down on the ground again. And that's what we want to be like, isn't it? That's what you do. It's this idea of we experience the flow of the emotions and the deep intuition and all of that more esoteric side of life. And it can upend us, you know, like
Yeah.
that 3 o'clock in the morning, waking
Oh,
up, going,
gosh.
oh my God, and remembering things that happened before, or
What did
where
I
am I
said
going, or I
this and
said this, or the world's about to blow up, and where are
Mm.
we, and all of those things. It's about being able to float that
yeah.
and then reground yourself. And for me, she's an example of why you have to do a daily practice.
Yes.
You
And
have to ground yourself every day.
you could look at the cup that she's holding as because she's so focused on it. If you look at her expression, she's so
She is.
focused on this, and it's like, I suppose whether you look at it as your daily practice or whatever you choose to call it, it's being focused on that. So even if it's, how can I calm myself down? How can I do this? How can I look within? What can I improve in my life? She's focused, I want to say, on self-development.
Well, I see it.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
just
agree.
pinged
I
into
see
my
it as the
mind.
vessel.
Yeah.
And I talk often, we've had this conversation about your inner vessel.
Yeah.
And if your inner vessel isn't strong, if it's got loads of cracks in it, that fire energy that is you, your essence, is
It's
just
leaking.
leaking out everywhere. Whereas if you've got a well-formed vessel within you, you can hold those emotions. There's somewhere for them all to retreat to and to rest, whereas you replenish your battery and then move out again. And hers is a very solid gold, well-formed cup. And what is gold? Gold is malleable as well.
Yes.
Gold can move, it can absorb. So for me, the cup can be bigger, it can be smaller, it can be taller, it can be shorter, it can be all of these things that needed to allow your emotions and your inner groundedness to exist together and keep them neat and tidy. You know what I mean? Rather than blah all over the place where you're just going
definitely,
manic. So it's, there's a lot in that card with her. She's really, it's a beautiful card.
I also want to say it's about having the self-belief, and I think because we've got the angels that are carved into the throne, it's that reminder that actually we don't have to, sort of give our faith away to other people, and we don't have to be under any form of, religious body or anything like that. It's about you having your own faith, not sort of
dictated faith. Yeah. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And then we've got the 9 of Cups, which again is about that fruition, isn't it? It's about coming to fruition of your emotional journey. You're finding some balance. Everything is nice and even again. So it ties in with her. You're moving into a sense of knowing you, and I just love it. I love that these three, we've had really good, bright.
And I want to say it because it's very often referred to as the wish card, the 9 of Cups.
Yeah.
So it's like we've got that potential to create what we want.
Yes.
Where we're going with
to
this.
Create our world.
So it's very much about sort of looking within. What do we want to do? Same with the Hangman. The Queen of Cups and the Hangman. It's both that focus onto, more than just what we want. It's what we feel.
Yeah.
And then the 9 of Cups then takes it, well, if we can do that, we're giving ourselves the ability to get to that well-rounded, that informative, but balanced channel that we want to be, that, that, and having those conversations that hopefully people will enjoy listening to.
Fantastic.
I like it.
So we've got our little, we've got our mission, which is, this is a pretty positive reading, I think.
I think so. I definitely think so. And I think, if we're just true to us, we'll be okay. And we will attract the right people to us. The right people
will come.
Some people might look at it, watch it and think, oh my goodness, they're just
rabbiting
on.
on. But you know
But
what?
it's just
That,
like having a conversation like we normally
of course
have.
it is. And what I like, it's why I listen. Like Nick will say to me, how come you listen to the cricket on the radio?
Yeah.
Why aren't you watching it? Because it's the chatting. It's so
Yes.
nice to listen to. I put it on in the background while I'm doing things, and I listen to these great conversations, and it makes me feel part of a community, and
Yes.
it's really lovely. And I think that that's the kind of thing I'd like us to be able to do with this.
Yes.
I mean, again, our videos will evolve. I know we'll probably need to put in like introductions and endings and
Yes,
start
but
all of this, but for the time being,
it's just about starting
it's
today.
just about starting.
Otherwise, we could procrastinate and we could say, oh, we've not got the right things, we've not got it perfected. I don't want it perfecting. I just want it to be real.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, we're going to put this out. Thank you.
Thank you if you've made it to the end.
If you've made it to
well
the
done.
end, anybody who's listened to this and has just watched our hands for basically, I don't know, an hour, almost an hour, thank you very much. If you have any suggestions, I guess, will we put comments? We'll have ability to make comments.
And I think we're going to put it out. We're going to put it out on each of our channels.
On each of our channels. So again, you are?
I'm the Soul Salon.
The Soul Salon, and I am 8 Red Trees Tarot. Yes. And we will both put these videos out. And then if people want to make comments and suggestions for what they would like to see or hear, or how we could improve this so that it's not quite so static.
If you could like it and subscribe to the channels, that
would be
amazing.
Subscribing would be absolutely wonderful. Yes,
just
that
so
is a very
that
important
we just feel
thing.
like we're not just talking to ourselves.
Right. Thank you very much. This has been lovely.
I've enjoyed it.
Me too.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now, everyone.